very liberal Republicans, not unlike George W. Bush. Expanding government, expanding spending, giving out bribes to the voters. No different than Democrats. My father wanted to knock them out and force them to be more conservative and more libertarian. And so he helped found that party. And they lost, and they lost, and they lost, and they lost, and they lost. Just like libertarians. You know, they were just wandering the desert for many, many years. And Jews are very good at wandering the desert. We did it for many, many years. And finally, in 1971, the Conservative Party of New York State got out of the desert, and the wandering ended. They elected James Buckley, the first ever third-party United States Senator from the state of New York, conservative with a C after his name. In the most liberal state in the entire United States, just like Illinois, they elected a conservative United States Senator who beat the Republican and the Democrat. And then, fast forward to 1980, by 1980, the guy they wanted to beat, Jacob Javits, who was like a 6-term U.S. Senator, the most powerful senator in all of New York State history, they beat him in the Republican primary when they endorsed a guy named Alphonse D'Amato, who went on to become a United States Senator and served several terms in New York, won the actual election. And that same year, 1980, the Conservative Party of New York became the first party to come out and endorse Ronald Reagan for President of the United States. And he went on to win a Republican nomination. And when he got elected president, Reagan actually gave credit to the Conservative Party for the reason that he was elected President of the United States. Their early support won it for him. So for those who say, God, if I vote Libertarian for Allyn Root, I'm just throwing my vote away, I say, you know what? Maybe you're not throwing your vote away. You may actually elect somebody. It happens. And I'm living proof. I was there for history. I saw it happen. And the Conservative Party was born out of people that supported Barry Goldwater. And the Libertarian Party was born out of the disciples of Barry Goldwater. It was like 6 guys who were college Republicans, who were huge Barry Goldwater fans, and out of the ashes of that loss in '64, they founded the Libertarian Party. Barry Goldwater, just like me and just like Ron Paul, fiscal conservative on every fiscal issue, every economic money tax issue, and actually quite liberal on every single social issue. But I don't like to use the word liberal. I like to use the word I'm conservative on social issues, because I think conservatives have hijacked the term conservative. I think the real beliefs on all these issues is not to have government tell women what to do with their bodies. It's not to have government tell people whether you can be gay or not, whether you can commit suicide at the end of your life if you're in terrible pain like Terry Schiavo, whether you can gamble online or not, whether your children must have vaccinations in school or not. All of that is, in my opinion, big government, and there's nothing conservative about it. The conservative philosophy is give the power to the individual and let the individual make their own decisions in their own lives. So I believe I'm a conservative on every single issue, all the way up and down, but the way you might look at it is fiscally conservative, socially tolerant, socially liberal. Those are my views, and I think they're winning views, and I think on every radio show I've been on, they're proven to be winning views, because the hosts actually say in almost every interview, and I've got most of them up on my website, rootforamerica.com, my gosh, I could vote for you. You're a libertarian I can actually pull the lever for. So that's my story. I'd love to take questions. If you have any, fire away. Yes, sir.
I've got a challenge for you.
Yes.
And my challenge is I actually work for, as you know, one of your competitors.
Okay.
And I've got a donation for you sitting in my wallet right now.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask
Do I have to beat you for this? Or?
No. Here's the thing.
I'm ready to take them. I'm telling you.
My question is, no, it's close.
By the way, I left something out of the speech. You just reminded me. I got to put you on hold for 1 second.
Okay.
The other problem with libertarian candidates is they can't raise money. They never have been able to raise money. Never have in history. And small businessmen write checks. And the proof, again, is just in the last month is when I started to raise money, because I made a conscious decision not to raise a dime while Ron Paul was still in the race. Because I think it was a real smart decision. Ron Paul sucked every single cent from the libertarian movement. And I just didn't want to raise money while he was out. Now he's out. I haven't been raising $25 and $50. Let me give you an example of a few of the checks I've raised in the last month. $4,600, $2,300, $2,300, $2,300, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, ad infinitum. So I've raised, I don't know, about $35,000 in the last month. And all of them were $1,000 checks on average. Those are all coming from small businessmen. The average libertarian doesn't write $1,000 checks. So I know I've got the right group I'm going after. That's pretty amazing by libertarian standards. It's pretty sucky by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton standards. But it's, you know, we're not Republicans and we're not Democrats. We don't quite have that audience yet. But I'm going for it.
How much have you raised?
like I said, $35,000 in a month, in 1 month. So I would say pretty darn good, and I would say I'll step out on a limb. Steve Kubby hasn't raised it. George Phillies hasn't raised it. Phillies put his own money in, but he didn't raise one dime himself. Jingosi put his own money in. They're not getting contributions of $1,000 and $2,300 and $4,600. It's not coming in. How do I know? Because mine are all ex-Republicans who are pissed off with John McCain and who love my stance. So.
Small exaggeration.
Yes.
Phillies has raised about 15 and Kubby raised about 13 as of the last report.
In the whole campaign, maybe.
Up till whenever the last report came out in January.
Phillies put in his own money. That
Oh yes,
wasn't
he
other
put in
people.
81 of his own.
But I'm saying, what did they raise from individuals who are opening up the party to new blood? Nothing. Nothing. That's the point. I'm trying to open up this party to new blood because I don't want 400,000 votes. Yes.
It is nice to have 200,000 of your own money to put in, which George has already committed to. Anyway.
Well, here's my answer to that. I always tell people, I don't put in my own money. I get on national TV. One TV appearance is worth $500,000.
I hope so.
So that's what I do. I've got about $5 million worth of publicity, free. I go after free publicity.
Of all the staffers of any of the competitors, I'm the most friendly, so you don't have to worry about me. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a bet on the tournament.
Yes.
And whatever the winner, whoever wins, I'm going to donate. I'm going to donate the winnings to you.
Okay.
But you got to pick the winner.
UCLA.
UCLA. All right. I'm going to put.
Big underdog, by the way. I'm taking a big underdog.
I'm going to put.
North Carolina's the best team.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put money in UCLA.
Yes.
And if they win, I'm going to donate all the money to your
It's a
ticket.
deal.
All right.
And that's a Philly supporter, okay? We're winning them over one at a time.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Well, hey, man, you gotta do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
On the radio
Are
shows.
you making a bet too?
No, no bets. Just mention this in the radio shows. The Illinois Party's trying to get on the ballot.
But how do I get them to get to you, though?
Oh well, you know they'll find us. They can call and we can set them up. But the main thing is they should know about it because a lot of people don't know.
Crystal.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know about
Crystal
these
has a
ballot
number
access,
that I can call, right?
And being
hurdles
that,
we
and
check.
being that you're a ballot expert, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to put you on the spot 'cause I don't really know the answer, but I think I know the answer. If I were to attract a lot of outside blood and get, say, 2-3 million votes across the country as presidential candidate, isn't there a good chance that you'd never have to go on these ballot drives ever
In a
again?
lot of states.
Yes.
Each state has different laws.
Right.
In Alabama, you have to get 20% of the vote.
I understand, but in a lot of states, that's why I want fresh blood, because we will never have to do this drive again. We'll automatically be on the ballot.
If you
In
get,
terms of the answer, hold on. In terms of
it doesn't have to be done
In
again.
terms of the answer to your question, when you get on the radio, how do you get people to know that they need to sign these petitions to get the Libertarian candidate on the ballot? That's a question for Crystal.
Okay?
To back up, we need 5%. That's what we need.
In
Either
Illinois.
out of a president candidate, out of our Senate.
That's a
candidate.
lot, by the way. That's a lot.
5%. It is a lot. It is a lot.
Well, but it's the other answer to why you're not wasting a vote.
Right.
Yes, is that we need 5%. You can encourage people to vote because we need that 5%. In Illinois, we have a golden opportunity.
And you know what's the good news? So many of these radio hosts that you would call Republican conservatives are really libertarians. Glenn Beck is a libertarian. He said it on the air. Mancow was screaming, went on a rampage when I was on 2 weeks ago, but I was on the phone, now I'm in the studio. He went on a rampage about how much he loves libertarians, but you're all a bunch of losers. He says, I'll vote libertarian, I want my audience to vote libertarian, but you guys aren't going anywhere. You never do and you never will. You're losers. So, I mean, these guys are libertarians. We just have to convince them we're not losers.
And in Illinois in particular, we have an opportunity coming up. Because if we can get ballot status out of this race, that sets us up for 2010. And people here in Illinois know what's going on. In 2010, there's a governor's race. And we just sent the previous Republican governor to prison for corruption. And right now, every day in the paper is our current governor, who's a Democrat, is being tied to a corruption
I
trial
saw
that's
it.
going
I
on
saw
right
it.
now. That's the big Resco
Amazing.
case. And Blagojevich, his name is in the paper tied to that case every single day.
And you
And
know what's
there are
funny?
people in this state who are saying, we can't just keep electing these
You know what's funny,
guys.
Bettles? Look at the taxes you pay. And I always say, where does it go? What are you getting for it? What you're doing is putting it in the pockets of corrupt politicians. That's where the money goes.
And they're starting up again to increase the taxes again. So
Right.
now we pay
It's amazing.
3% tax. They're trying to push again the 66% tax hike
Unbelievable.
and add 2% onto everybody's taxes in Illinois.
And you know what's interesting? Now here's another big thing that just happened to me, by the way. I'll announce it to all you today. You'll be the first ones to hear.